Hey, what up, guys? This is Martin here from Rip Kodiak, coming to you live from my car in Poland. Your chat is here, and today we're going to talk about a pretty interesting subject. We're going to talk about bad boys, arrogant guys, and why women absolutely love confident, arrogant, cocky men, and why they despise nice guys, quote unquote. Because I get a good amount of these questions on my Discord group from guys all the time. They're like, man, I'm being nice, I'm giving this girl all the attention, and she's not reciprocating it back. What's the deal here? Well, allow me to explain, man. Fellas, gentlemen, this is really important to understand. If you can understand this one concept, I can tell you it will change your trajectory and how you look at women. If you can really understand this one thing, because this is a fundamental law that every single man out there should understand. And if every guy really took this lesson to heart, the world wouldn't be as it is today. We wouldn't have that many simps and beta males and all these OnlyFans girls. Believe me. It comes down to this one thing. So why are women attracted to these men? Okay, it's an old age question. Why are women attracted to these, convicts, all these, guys who are in prison, all these boxers, right? All these fighters. Why is that the case? Well, there's really only one reason why, Only one reason why. Because they respect themselves. And nice guys, beta males, and all these simps out there, they don't have enough respect. And the bad guy, the cocky man, he actually puts himself first in front of everything else. In front of the woman, in front of his family. He actually puts his purpose in front of everything. That's the reason why. And simps, beta males, all they do all day is they're being predictable, they're being boring, they're not being exciting, they don't have that finesse, that good finesse, and they don't know how to maneuver. That's why they're struggling. And even attractive guys, there's also, I'm telling you, there's a lot of good-looking guys out there who are quote-unquote simps. They're so weak, they're soft, they're being beta, and that's why they're struggling with chicks. And why no woman really wants them. Because they're being weak. They're acting like a child. Whereas these convicts, all these rapists, right? All these guys that women are after. Like this, the perfect example is this Luigi Mangione case, right? He's a convicted murderer, right? He assaulted this one guy, and women all drone after him. Same thing with that, what was his name? What was it, Jeremy Meeks? The famous mugshot guy? Yeah. He's a good-looking guy too. And women are after him, man. They're lusting after him. Why is that the case? I actually think there's a couple of theories as to why that is. But one is because cocky men, especially guys who are in prison and guys who are, murderers and rapists and whatever, the reason why women like these guys is because they have this element of fear inside of them. And I think all the women know it instinctively that man is dangerous. He can hurt somebody, He has the ability and the capability of being dangerous and he can cause violence. And he makes him a threat. But paradoxically, ironically I should say, at the same time she's being fearful of him, but she's also attracted to him like crazy. And this is so true, guys. Nobody would ever tell you this, but it's true. And the bad boys, the cocky guys, all the Chads, the Tyrones, right? They're putting themselves first in front of the girl. Always. And they focus on their purpose, their grind, their mission. The woman is like secondary for them, or on third place. It doesn't matter. That's why these guys get ahead, and they have so much success. And I think a perfect example of this is someone like James Bond. Even though he's a fictional character, he's not really, representing a real person. But there's a couple of different things you can, retract from someone like him. You can absorb certain qualities. And one of his best qualities, in my opinion, is that he doesn't care. He doesn't care if the girl is into him. He can message a chick, he can text a chick, or he can, ask a girl out on a date. She's not reciprocating it back. Boom. Wham. He stops talking to her. Cuts ties with her. That's why he's attractive. And all the other beta males, all the other simps, despite being rejected 5-10 times, they will keep messaging the chick. and it gets so boring, and women are so used to these guys. I'm telling you, bro. Like, if you ever looked at somebody's Instagram, if you ever had like a, deep look at someone's Instagram, especially if it's a chick, a really hot chick on Instagram, just take a look at her inbox. Take a look at her inbox and see what kind of messages and requests she receives on a daily basis. It is mind-blowing, guys. So many simps from Germany, USA, Norway, Dubai, Miami, bro. I could go on and on and on. I literally saw this not too long ago. And it is crazy. It is mind-blowing. But this is what's happening. We have a pandemic of simps. And that's why these guys are struggling. Because they're showing these girls way too much attention. And this is something that a lot of you guys are struggling with. I know it. Because I used to struggle with this. When I was younger, I used to be such a simp. I used to, over-text girls all the time. I used to be beta. I used to, always look for their validation. And it never got me anywhere. Never. Because I was being weak. I was being timid. I was being soft. And quite frankly, I was being fake. This is the problem with nice guys. They're being fake. They're not being authentic. Because if they were actually real, if they had balls, if they had real authenticity, if the girl didn't like them back, they would be like, hey, oh, fine, you don't like me, basta, I'm gone. That's how a real man would approach it. But beta males don't look at it that way. They're like, one day I'm going to get my chance. One day, I'm hoping for it. I'm telling you, man, it is a real struggle. And going back to the whole, cocky thing, why are women so attracted to these guys? It's also because they can't string them along. They can't drag them into BS, drama, gossip, and all these things that women love to do. They know it. They're not going to listen to their BS. They're not going to listen to, all the unnecessary things that women flaunt on guys. And they're just not going to tolerate it. They get straight to the point. Do you want to be with me or not? Are you attracted to me or not? If not, fine. If yes, great. We'll have some fun. This is how they approach it. And I think way too many guys out there are looking at it the wrong way. They're being weak, they're being soft, and they're not really approaching it with balls. This is what you need. You need to be bold. Not every girl is going to like you. It's impossible. Even guys who are really attractive, guys like Brad Pitt, Michelle Moran, Henry Cavill, and all these guys, they get rejected as well. Or they would be rejected as well if they did some sort of, experiment out in public. But this is how it is. You can't expect every single girl to like you. And another reason why women are so attracted to these guys is because they have a certain degree of mystery. They're not being, laying out there like an open book. And the women can't really figure them out. And this is very captivating and interesting for girls, believe me. I mean, no girl's going to tell you this, but they love guys who are mysterious. Who don't display all their cards. They love these types of men. That's why I'm not saying you have to be mysterious on purpose, but you don't tell everything about yourself right in front of her on the first date. This is a problem that a lot of guys do. They brag about themselves, they show off, they just talk about themselves, they don't, even ask her questions. They're not being focused on her, they're just trying to impress her. And, it's almost like they want their validation in a way. And they're not going to they're not going to get anywhere. I'm telling you, man. It's a real struggle. And so when you're being mysterious and different, which is all these guys who are convicts, all these guys who are murderers and, they're in prison, they have a certain element of mystery. They're like, wow, who is this guy? Especially if he's handsome or attractive. Oh my God. It's even better. But they're like, wow, who is this fella? There's something about him that I like. That's why women love mysterious guys. Guys who are busy and who have something going on. The worst thing you can do when you're trying to get chicks, and I've used to make this mistake all the time, is being predictable and boring. Every single morning you text her a good morning text. Every single, Saturday you take her to the exact same spot. Do the exact same thing, watch the exact same type of movie, and do the exact same type of, fun as well. That's the worst thing you can do. Because she's going to lose interest very fast. You have to be interesting, you have to be captivating, you have to be engaging, and you have to be creative as well. It's so important to keep that spark alive. And, even my grandpa told me this a long time ago. Martin, the worst thing you can do in a relationship, and he's been with his partner for 30 years. He told me, the thing that kills relationships is predictability. Doing the same thing over and over and over again for 10 years. This is why a lot of, women cheat on men. Because they're being predictable and boring. They're not leading the relationship. They're not making it exciting and livelyful. They're not doing anything. This is why it's so important to keep that spark alive. And this is complicated. I couldn't tell you about how this works because this is very complex. It's a difficult thing to explain. It's a difficult matter. But the bottom line is, man, you have to be mysterious and engaging and different. If you're just like all the other guys that she's been with, there's nothing really about you that, makes you interesting or different or mysterious. She's not going to want you. I'm telling you. This is why. That's why it's so important to work on yourself, on your looks, finances, have an interesting life, and be yourself. As you develop, you're going to become a lot better, obviously. So, I think, just to, wrap it up, guys, I think the biggest reason why bad guys succeed with women is because women at the same time know that these men are above them, that they don't care about them in that way. And that makes them, it's like a drug to women, man, because the men who are at the top, the men who are quote-unquote cocky, toxic, manipulative, whatever, they don't care about the chick. They just care about themselves. And for some reason, this is how God created us. Women are into those types of men. They love guys who are confident, who are like a big ass, boulder. They can't move them. They love men who are confident, who are rock solid, and who don't really, and men who are not thrown off by a little BS. And there's a lot of men, a lot of simps out there who, get so offended so quickly. And women know that they can just manipulate these guys like crazy. So, and it can be a bizarre experience when you're that man. So you should be, mysterious, absolutely. And this comes with, self-improvement. You have to be yourself. And there's like a whole different chain of things that you need to have to achieve that effect, but it's possible. But the thing that I can tell you guys here, if you really want to implement this in your life, is to stop caring about the women so much. Put yourself first. You are the prize. You are the prize. She should be second place to you. If you're always putting the women first, this is why simps lose long term. Because they're being weak. They're not focusing on themselves. Because if you're focusing on yourself, if you're focusing on the grind, on your life, she's going to want to be a part of it. This is why it's so important, man. It's so important to put all that focus and all that effort into your own life. And simps do the exact opposite. They're being predictable, boring, and yada yada. So, and also another thing that I can tell you that's going to help you massively with this is just to talk to more women. This is another part why bad boys are so attractive. Because women know that they can't have these guys. And deep down, these girls know that bad boys, cocky guys, whatever, they have options. And that makes them a lot more attractive. Like the best social proof you can have as a man is to have other women. When you have other baddies around you all the time, or when she knows that you're dating other women, or you have the ability to get other women, even though you're in a relationship with her, you're making her wet, man. I'm telling you. Because she knows that she's with a high value man. And she's not going to want to lose you, man. I'm telling you. She's going to want to have kids with you and be with you long term. So anyway, this is why it's so important. Be mysterious, be yourself, and work on your life. And never put women on pedestals. Never put women on a pedestal. Because this is the biggest mistake that men make. Not just in life, but with women especially. They're getting, so emotional about the whole thing. They're so into the chick. They're getting giddy. They're getting, so flimsy and weird. And they end up losing the chick because they're not being themselves. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I wish you guys a beautiful day. Stay strong.